Hey everybody, hope you're all doing well. I'm sure coming around, fellas. Back in the garage, guys. And I was hoping the first thing I'd be doing would be a pair of cylinder heads for the 460 that we're doing. But my son had other plans. He's trying to get the car back together. LS intake, guys. The Holley. What we did, we put injector bosses in it. And well, that's what I call them. There's a different name for them. People call them 3 or 4 different things. I call them injector bosses. My son calls them the correct name, whatever that is. I forget. But I wanted to show you guys. I was working on this, so I thought, let me make a video. What I had to do, guys, is cut them back because that injector boss came way down into the runner, and most guys will say, well, you're not supposed to cut them back. Well, you can put the injector angle however you think is best. Everybody has their own theories on that. I have mine, so it's just a somewhat of opinionated thing. But yeah, they stuck way down 1/4 of an inch, and that air would be coming up this runner and banging right into it, and I had no room to get past it. And I like a lot of area at the top, guys. I always try to keep a lot of area at the top. That's what I'm doing. I'm actually working on this, and I'm rounding all that in now. I'm flat boarding the runners, and that's what I believe in, guys. Trying to get a straight shot to do whatever you have to do to get a straight shot of air. That's my theory on stuff, guys. But I don't know if you can tell, I have it all rounded in. This intake was carbureted before, and so I had a couple things done differently, where I left it rough in a few areas on purpose, and that's just what I do, guys. Sometimes I'll leave things rough in certain areas where I think it needs to break up the fuel or whatever the reason might be. Sometimes I'll just leave it rough. I can't get this to really focus well, but it pinches off right here, and I'm actually rounding this end right here. And then another thing I'll do, sorry guys, I got stuff falling over on me here. I'll turn the intake up straight up on its end like this. Lay it up straight up. And I'll flat board all these runners until I can see straight through. That's what I'm doing. I'm working on these turns. I don't know if you can tell, guys. It turns back in here. I'm knocking this back, leveling this out. I want to get more of a sight straight through, and that's what I'm working on. And I'm going to flat board this, take the angle out of it, because I don't know if the camera shows it up or not. I'm trying to get in there better to show you. It has a dip where it dips down. Every time that air moves down or up, it's not a good thing. So anything you can do to stop that air from making a twist or a turn. I look at it this way, guys. This has already enough twisting to do, because the minute it goes in on this runner, immediately it's turning. And I'd rather have that than I would dips and other little things for that air to have to flip around. If I could have one fast turn and work that area, that's better to me than having it like dip down here and then there's a peak and then go back. So I try to take all this out and level it best I can. And you can only do so much. This holley, they say from this holley to the Victor's 50 horsepower. But I did what I could do with it already. I don't know if you can see. You can see through it. I'm trying to hold it where you can see the light. So that's from the plenum. You can see I have a pretty straight run, but I like it better. I'd like to try to get it where it's even better than that. So if it has to be later on, I think it'd make that big a difference going to a Victor, then we'll have to do it. But as it stands right now, this intake on a 5.3 made 504 horsepower. And that's basically how it was. I mean, I have done other things to it since, but it's still the same basic way that it was when it made that power. And like I said, I do round the tops and stuff out, guys. I don't know if you can tell. I blend everything in on a always a round basis, even from the floor to the walls. And even the plenum, guys, I don't know if you'll notice, it's cut back in different ways for each runner. I don't have it consistent around. Like over here, I don't know if you can tell, I have it cut back on one side to favor that runner because the runners are not consistent. So the air has to move too much to hit that runner. So I'll cut that plenum back. I don't want it to be where it's a hard job for that air to go to a certain runner because it's further back or how it's designed. So that's one thing I'll do. And that's what I believe in, guys. But hang on, fellas. I'm trying to show you something else here. What I did do, I did mark everything out. And I rounded the top. I don't know if you know the cathedral port, how it's designed. It goes to an A. Well, these don't go to an A, and neither do the heads. And they say that doesn't help by doing that. I say it does help. When I see testing done on YouTube by people like Rich Holdner, and he has to use a 225 head to make the same power, a Trick Flow 225 he used, and the Victor Jr., I believe, to make the same power that we made with this. And when we talked to him about it, he said it was impossible, that he already had tested that. And it didn't make that power. Well, ours did. And that's all I care about, is what we come up with. And the car ran exactly where it should be, as far as that number would be. Mathematically, it came out to be where it should be, pretty close to what the motor made on the dyno. And the way we figured it out to be, it should be pretty close. It's never going to be exact from a dyno to a car, but Considering it was that close, I'll take it. Because like you guys know, I'm not a dyno guy. I don't put a lot of stock in it. It's just something you use for a measuring tool. And I'm not a flow number guy, because I can see where that would really get you in trouble. Everybody has their own views on stuff and their own theories, and that's fine, especially if it works in their best interest. But this works in my best interest, so that's why I do what I do here, fellas. But I guess I'd run this by you and show you a little bit. I wish I could show you more, because it's just hard to get the lighting in there. When you put the light in there, it actually feeds back. It shows you false looking videos. Me and Charles was talking about that, and sometimes it's worse with the light, and other times you have no choice to put the light in there, and then it doesn't come off as it really is in person. So we just do the best we can, guys, to bring these videos to you. But that's what I'm working on, guys. As soon as I get this knocked out, then we'll be moving on to the 460 stuff. I'm hoping that's going to be a really strong video for you guys. I want to get the information out there and find out things I forgot. I've actually had people tell me things. When I've mentioned certain things on my videos, they've actually gotten a hold of me and reminded me about the balancer being the same, and some of the things I forgot about the 460, because you get caught up in doing 15 different engines and you forget. Back in the day, I stayed with the 460 and the 289. I knew stuff off the top of my head, and that's one thing I always like. When somebody asked me something, I knew for sure that I was telling them something correct. Where now, I have to second guess myself. And but it's just a matter of relearning things. But like I said, when you're messing with LSs, from an LS engine to a Coyote to the old school stuff, and then you get my age, it just don't come in your best interest to remember things off the top of your head. So anyway, my point is this: I appreciate it when you guys take the time and say, hey, the balancer, I think, is the same. And I think, wait a second, he's right, that was the same. It's just internally balanced and externally balanced. But there are things that you just can't remember, guys, when you're doing all this work. But my point is this: I appreciate it, fellas, when you help me out like that. I'll share what I know with you guys, in my opinion, and you share back, and I appreciate it, fellas. That's what this channel is about. That's what I started it for. Guys, we started cleaning up in here, and it's worse now than it was, because now I can barely move. And we got rears laying around in here. We got this rear back off our friend. We sold it to him, and we bought it back. It's got new ends and all on it. But I just want to show you guys, before I do anything, we got all this to take care of. This is just no way to work. My son's been working on the car over there, and it's just terrible to try to work around all this mess. But we just have to deal with it. A little behind, like you guys know. And one more thing I wanted to point out, fellas, about the intake. I don't know if it will show up. You can see how, like, the runner comes out, and it has a high peak right here. Even though I've already leveled this, if you look at it close, you can see it bevel up, and it's pretty straight. But I'm knocking this back, guys. I'm laying it down the way I have it setting now at the intake. I'm laying it this way, I'll do one side of the runner until I get this flat. And all you do is you go in flat. I'll do some of this with the tool this way to knock the majority of it down and hold it flat back and forth. And then I'll go in there flat with this, and I can get all the way up in there, all the way through. But what I'm after right now is the peak, because it goes from here and then it sweeps back that way. What I'm trying to do is level this, get it flat, then I'll worry about making this piece on the other end of it here come back where there's not a low spot right in the middle. I want that consistent, and that's what I'm worried about. But anyway, fellas, I guess I run this by you, and trying to keep in touch with you guys and let you know what's happening. This weather's still really bad, but I don't want to say too much because I'm blessed. And I just walked Bear Rose. Ugh. That guy, anybody got to give him a pat on the back what he's going through with the heater. And I don't know anybody doesn't know, but his heat's been out and he's got snow. He keeps getting blasted with snow there. And I don't know how you could even think about doing a car. So that guy deserves a medal in my book. And as far as I'm concerned, he deserves to be the one to make it to the No Name Nationals. Somebody that goes through the extreme like that just really impresses me. Because there's nothing he's doing is very easy at all. I mean, just the front end he was messing with. If guys never done that kind of work, if they only knew the weight of that front end to try to pull that off and try to hold that while you're getting it off, it sure isn't no fox body, guys, I'll tell you that. You can triple that weight on that nose of that car, I guarantee it. He had a strap across his back pulling that off, guys. If you didn't see it, tune him in, because he needs the views, fellas. He needs to get those numbers up, and they're coming up, and I'm happy for him. He's trying to make the No Name Nationals, and he needs all the subscribers he can get, so help him out, guys. Help our fellow YouTuber out. He's more of a friend to me, so. But just please, if you can, tune to his channel and subscribe to him, because he deserves to go to the No Name Nationals. But I hope this is somewhat helpful, guys, because this isn't just LS stuff. This is whatever you're doing. Anytime you can take a sharp bend out of it and take, I've said it many times, but in case you haven't caught my other videos, that's the most, sorry guys, I'm dry mouth, most crucial thing you can do is get that air straight. And another thing I did want to show you guys, I'm getting off track a little bit. I'm trying to remember what to say on here. What I wanted to tell you is in the first place, I'm getting off track. But the reason this intake worked decent is because I cut back on the plenum. And I cut back so much that I burned through. But I don't care about that, guys. This intake has to be how I want it to be. Same way with the heads. If I can't get that air to move how I want it to move, and that's to the top most of the time, when that air comes in off this plenum, I want it to be able to hit that runner with no restriction, without no dipping, as straight as I can get that to come in off that plenum. And it does go in pretty straight. I don't know if I can get the phone in there to show you. Before it had a big lip, and it went way down and then back up. It was just like a dip that comes, I'm trying to show you my hand, but it was like a big bubble at the top where the air come in, hit the bubble, a big piece of metal, all the way around on each one of these runners, and then goes back up. So I knock all that down at the top of the plenum, guys. But it's very thin on these intakes where it sweeps back. After that big piece of metal in the plenum, where they have all that aluminum, real thick, then it goes real thin in here. Why can't they put the heavy casting back in here? Just one of them deals, guys, that make you think. I don't understand it. I mean, they'll make it thin in areas where you need it, and then make you have to do all this kind of work to make something work how you want it to work. But anyway, fellas, I wanted to run this by you. Just anything I say or do, even if you don't follow it, it might give you guys an idea of how you want to do yours. And like these are all welded in. I didn't bring that up. They're actually welded in. They're not pressed in. It's just it's been repainted around here. This whole intake's got to be repainted and stuff. This was done a while back, and it was painted to match the intake, but now the intake's beat up again. So hope you guys can see that. But anyway, fellas, like I said, I just try to bring anything your way that might help you. And if it's not something that I do that you agree with, that's fine. But I might put you on a path to do something the way you think it should be. So it still might put an idea out there for somebody. And that's why I do these videos, fellas. It's not my way or the highway. I had a friend that used to say that really bothered me, because people have different opinions. They have different ways of doing stuff. I just put my stuff out there because there might be somebody else that has something like this here, and then they'll know. And they might also know, hey, that's not worth it to me. I don't want to burn through. That right there might save somebody from having to have something welded that don't have any way of having that done. So just by me pointing this out about this being thin here, and somebody's working back in here, and then once they go through, if I can even do something like that and help somebody out, to me, one person, these videos are worth it. That's why I do them, guys. But fellas, stay warm, and thank you for all your support. And I always want to take the time to do that. And hey guys, this No Name National thing is really getting up there with people wanting to go. It's pretty amazing. I think it's one of the best things going, and I really would like to go to it. I'll have to see how I could probably pull that off, because that's a long ways from me. And but I'll tell you guys, I'd really love to be able to go and meet you fellas out there, the ones that are going, because that's one thing that makes a good thing, when you can meet each other in person. But anyway, fellas, have a good day, and take care.